What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. This is another important video, one that I'm going to ask that you interact with by leaving a like or dislike, and leave a comment, and then consider sharing it out on Twitter or Facebook, because this is interesting. This is existing legacy media collaborating in the public space in front of everybody, demanding suppression of research that shows YouTube actually steers people away from bad videos as opposed to promoting them. Why are they fighting this narrative? Why are they pushing so hard against this? Well, because it goes against their established narrative over the past few years. See, legacy media knows that they're being replaced by YouTube. To be honest with you, a lot of YouTubers, myself included out there, are simply commentators reading articles that exist in legacy media and commentating on them. So in a way, I still need them to be horrible. But at the end of the day, they see that a bearded person in their basement can net 15 million viewers a month, and they can't ever dream of that kind of reach because nobody trusts them and nobody cares about what somebody on The Verge has to say. Maybe they did in the early 2000s, but those days are long gone. So instead of improving their product, they actively created these narratives about evil videos. And in fact, they were really behind all of the adpocalypses for that matter. Because, oh no, a Coca-Cola ad displayed on a video that is bad. And then it was, oh, think of the advertisers. And then it was, oh, think of you're going down the rabbit hole and it's making people radicals because there's this mysterious pipeline of content. And then there's various research papers that get tweeted and retweeted and recovered and shared by legacy media. Anything that negatively impacts the YouTube platform, they share. And unfortunately, weaklings like Susan Wojcicki continues to bend the knee to legacy media because they want to be TV. They don't want to be YouTube anymore. They want to be corporate tube. Them tube is really what they want. But this article was published on CNBC based on some hard data titled, "YouTube Actually Steers People Away from Radical Videos, Researchers Say." Published Saturday, December 28th. Now, before we get into the article, I want to give you some of the response from legacy media. Now, this article was built on data by Mark Ledwich. One, I worked with Anna Zaitsev, Berkeley postdoctorate, to study YouTube recommendations. We painstakingly collected group channels, 768, and recommendations, 23 million, and found that the algorithm has a de-radicalizing influence, and shares the data. Point two, it turns out that in late 2019, the algorithm, quote, destroys conspiracy theorists, provocateurs, identitarians, and helps partisans, hurts almost everyone else. Compare an estimate of recommendations presented gray to received for these groups. You can see this data. Daily impressions sent received by group with channel of our data set. And now you can see center left MSM by far the most, partisan left by far the second most, then second or third most is partisan right. Then they have a category called anti-SJW, social justice, provocative anti-SJW. I'm not sure how you would separate those two, and conspiracy. But you can see they're down 98%, provocative anti-SJW down 73%, social justice down 34%, anti-SJW down 13%. But then you see pushing the mainstream media received barely any decrease. And then you have partisan left receiving plus 29, a partisan right reaching plus 27. So they're pushing biased media. And you can see there's libertarian down 11%, socialist down 25%, anti-theist down 8%, white identitarian down 94%, and MRA down 68%. Meaning all these quote-unquote fringe groups out there that the mainstream has set up as a straw man to say YouTube bad are actively being deboosted. Now, where my channel probably fits into these would probably be anti-SJW, maybe. And, you know, I can say unequivocally that my recommendations have completely fallen off. Channel growth has relatively stagnated, and I've made my peace with it. In fact, I've invested extra money into editing and providing a better product for the people that are here rather than concerning myself with growth anymore, because the system is not set up for me to grow and flourish anymore on this platform, partly due to you know, these people beating the drum over radicalization. 3, check out Refluence or Recfluence.net to have a play with the new data set. We also include categorization, and you can see all sorts of stuff here. My new article explains it in detail. It takes aim at the New York Times in particular, who have been on a myth-filled crusade versus social media. We should start questioning the authoritative status of outlets that have soiled themselves with agendas. And you can see all sort of these articles like, I've been YouTube radicals, I've been brainwashed. And then of course CNBC boosted this article, but look at some of the legacy media reaction to it. Here's Julia Alexander of The Verge, calls herself a reporter, okay? She says, quote, and said, by the way, doesn't include a link to any of the data or any of the article, but just a headline, which read YouTube steers people away. She writes, hey, just a quick request. Journalist friends, don't write about the YouTube report going around. But if you do, please reach out to anyone who covers this space on a daily or regular basis and other academics to understand why the data collection process is flawed. Boy, really concerned with debunking this report, just like the one that nobody spent any time debunking that called Tim Pool alt-right. All right. And then you could see Chris Raygun getting in with a dig. Hey, quick request, journalist friends, don't write about the bad behavior in video games, you know, but nobody got his dig. Then you see Ben Collins here, another reporter from the NBC News. Some truly junky, flat earth level stuff here. Do not get tricked into aggregating it as authoritative because you had to open a PDF to read it. Now, it's just simply saying it's untrue, not taking any time to actually prove it's untrue, to debunk it. Just, hey, I work for CNBC, I work for The Verge, trust me. This is why sharing this video is important. Leaving a like on this video is important. Commenting on this video is important. Going over to twitter.com/thequartering and sharing it, or sharing it out on your own Facebook or your own social media platforms. Tag me so I can retweet you, because this is what quietly is happening. Then you have Brendy Zadronzi from NBC going, the fact that this was dropped on a weekend during a holiday week where most senior journalists aren't at work doesn't help. So trying to now frame it as this like evil thing, like, oh, the people are going to get this raw data that, by the way, anyone can break down. The people are going to get this raw data when us, the protectors of the people, mainstream media, aren't getting to scrub it and debunk it first. It's right here in the public, people that work at NBC, The Verge, CNBC, all these. Here's another NBC person. She's at The Verge, and there's more and more of these people. And that's why you didn't see anybody covering this. I can't believe this made it onto CNBC. If you have people who write blogs, they should look at this. I invite them to debunk this using scientific methodology, but you can't just dismiss it out of hand because it goes against your narrative. Well, legacy media does. You can see key points. The researchers said that YouTube's recommendations algo appears to be designed to benefit mainstream media over independent YouTube creators. This we know. This supports what I'm telling you as an independent creator, what Sticks Hexenhammer is telling you as an independent creator, what any independent creator that covers breaking news, whether it be political or pop culture, we could all tell you the same thing. Quote, there is clearly plenty of content on YouTube that one might view as inflammatory. However, the responsibility of that content is with content creator and consumers themselves, the study says. YouTube, like all social media platforms, has been grappling with the matter of content moderation in years. By the way, I don't think they should be moderating anything. The article goes on, examining millions of YouTube recommendations over the course of a year. 2 researchers have determined that the platform, in fact, combats political radicalization. The research says, as of late 2019, YouTube's recommendation algorithm appears to be designed to benefit mainstream media, cable news content over independent YouTube creators. The study, which published on Tuesday, also says that YouTube's algorithm favors left-leaning and politically neutral channels. Independent data scientist Mark Ledwich and UC Berkeley postdoctoral researcher Anna Zaitsev conducted the study, which concluded that while bad content does exist on the platform, the recommendation algorithm does not currently direct users to such videos. Quote, there's clearly plenty of content on YouTube that one might view as inflammatory. However, that's the responsibility of that content is with the content creator and the consumers themselves, they said in the study. Shifting the responsibility from users to content creators to YouTube is not supported by our data. The study comes a year after a series of New York Times articles published earlier this year about brainwashing people on Google, owned by YouTube. One side of the story's 26-year-old Caleb Kane recounts how he fell into the alt-right rabbit hole a few years ago. Yeah, people are making active decisions to consume content, and now they're trying to blame the algorithm. Regardless of whether or not a video is recommended to me, I'm ultimately making the decision whether or not to watch it and what I feel and think about what I've been presented with. But of course, that goes against the mainstream narrative. They want to push us independent creators out, which is working. You can see growth is grinding to a halt on independent content creators channels, but I'm so thankful for the group that I have. And I'm so thankful that you guys will go out and share this video on Facebook or Gab or Minds or Twitter or Reddit or whatever. And we can still grow. We just have to work harder because we don't get the benefit of the algorithm, which is why I also embrace a lot of new tech, BitChute library and things like that. So get this out there. They're doing it right in front of it in plain view, and no one seems to be calling them out. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.